All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a London session backtest. I'm going to go over the prior week. Just go over the London session. No bias, nothing planned, no higher time frame draw, nothing like that. What I'm going to do is just utilize the model at face value. I do have another model I will be dropping soon. If I do find it within here, you'll know. It's a little bit different than the usual trades I take. But if we see that, then we'll take it as well. So heading into this Monday here, huge pump to open up the London session. Quite an aggressive move there. Let's see if there's any highs on the 50-minute that price can draw towards. We do right here. I'm curious to see, did price take this high already? Let's look. Let's wait and see. This high right here, the equal highs up there, and Q did not take it. 15-minute bullish gap here. So we're going to see if price does tap into that high, potential short we'll look at. If price comes to rebalance to this imbalance, we'll look for an internal sweep, extra confirmations, and then we will target that draw right there. So we'll wait and see here. All right, internal sweep does form. So we have that. See if price does inverse this gap and form that breaker. Still nothing for me yet. We have this bullish gap. I'll wait for this breaker to form for me to take an entry. Breaker doesn't form just yet. We might get one more internal sweep. We get that here. Still another internal sweep. We'll wait for that breaker to form. If we get that, then we'll enter. Not yet formed. Low, high, lower, low. Not the most ideal breaker, but one nonetheless. There we go. We'll enter here because we can't set limit orders. We'll just use market orders. It is what it is. The ideal entry, it would ideally be at 1.9 to 1R, almost 2 to 1. But with this market order, it's going to be at 1.67. It is what it is. Stop right here, below the low. Take profit right there. Let's add a bit more. All right. So that's that. That's what I'm targeting. That's it. That's all. If the direction is correct, if the timing is correct, that low that we put our stop loss below should be protected. So we'll wait and see. Getting chopping around, but like I said, if you have the draw correct, no matter how bad it chops around or how poor it delivers, it should go to your draw. Gonna wait and see, and we get it there. All right, so first trade is a win. Rebalance to that imbalance, internal sweep in the direction of the obvious high with price delivering towards the upside. So everything was met there in confluence. Not greatest delivery, but like I said, the draw was correct. So that's that nonetheless. All right, let's look here now. So the first trade taken in the London session on the Monday, took a win there. We'll see now what we get here. Nothing just yet of any interest to me. We do have highs above that I think price could come tap into here, but really nothing of interest to me just yet. See if we get a sweep potentially. Here, I'll mark this low. Okay, so there we go. Do have a sweep right here. I will be a bit cautious because we do have this low here that hasn't been tapped. So I'll mark that. And then we will target 1 equal highs right here. And 2 relative equal highs right here. That's it, that's all. I'll mark it as equal highs, but they are relative, equal highs. There we go. We'll go on the lower time frame, see if we get an entry. If we get something worth taking. See if we form this gap right here. We do form it. Did we get a retest? No retest just yet. Price is just expanding to the upside. This for value gap right here. See if we do get a retest here. Now from this one. we would likely... Now, the R to R on this one would not be ideal either. I mean, 2 to 1 is not bad, so it's fine. See if we do get the retest. Okay, so it would move up likely right here. Now, again, 1.66. I can use the 3PD array rule, so I can move my stop technically here below this invalidation. I'll leave it here. So 1.85 to 1 if we do get the retest. And then that would be that. I'll enter here just in case. I don't know if price will wick. It's still valid nonetheless. Not the greatest R to R, like I said, given the fact that they are market orders. So, but we'll use the 3PD array rule. I'm gonna risk a little bit lighter, only because I'm not loving it too much for the sole purpose that the R to R is not the greatest here. So we'll hold it here. We'll see what price does. Digs into those gaps once more, digging in once more, equal highs above. If we take this loss, it is what it is. Nothing too bad. Sized relatively well. So loss there taken. So that would be 1-1 now in terms of wins and losses for this. Look, direction is correct here, so you can't be mad. Got the model. Not always going to pan out. It is what it is. So 1 win, 1 loss so far. Both times had the draw correct. Just one didn't have the timing correct, and that's going to happen sometimes. So now let's look here. All right. Significant highs tapped into. Buy side liquidity swept. We have equal lows here. We also have several lows below. I mean, so we're talking several lows here. See if we do get an entry here in that direction. Nothing just yet. I'm going to look to see if we get something worth taking here. Price is chopping around. If we inverse this gap, I'll enter. Or if we form a fair value gap, I'll enter market orders only because the limit orders would likely not be ideal anyways. So it likely wouldn't be realistic. So that's just what it's going to be. The entries here will not be as accurate as precise, but the idea there for what I'm looking for will be indeed. So we'll enter right here off this. Not the greatest R to R. 1.56 once again. Like I said, if we rate for the retest, it's a 2 to 1 R here. So you have to take that into account. So this is just for backtesting purposes. Around a 1.6 to 1 R. 3 PD arrays in our favor. Oh, I pressed buy. That's why. Okay, it didn't. Nothing. There wasn't any win or loss there, anyways. So we'll risk a bit more here. We'll take out half of those equal lows, and then the rest if we get that sell side liquidity. So we'll see what we get here. See if we get it here. Not yet. We'll see if we do get it. So there we go. Half taken there. We'll move our stops just a little bit lower. We have 3 PD arrays formed here, so we'll protect a bit of capital. See if we get it, and we got it. So like I said, would have been a 2 to 1 R if we wait for the limit order. But market order there off the validation. I don't even know if the entry did get tapped. So nonetheless, that entry is what it is. Like I said, it's going to be a bit sloppier when you do it this way with market orders rather than live trading. But the idea, you get the idea of what I'm looking for. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay. Heading into this London session, immediately I'm looking at this 50-minute bearish imbalance right here. Several lows below. I mean, look at these lows here. We have right here, sell side. Like I said, so we could look at these lows here in this direction here. That just has my interest. Why? Because the highs have been rated. You have smooth lows below. Just off of what I'm seeing here. No higher time frame bias, nothing like that. So just off of pure 15-minute and lower time frame analysis plus confirmations. We got an internal sweep here, right here. We did get that internal sweep here, so we could actually look for an entry here as price approaches that London session. Sorry. If we inverse this gap, potentially I'll take a setup right here, or inverse this gap right here, and we'll look towards the downside. Nothing just yet. Internal sweep once more. Gonna wait for price to close below. If we get it, there we go. Okay, so this is a bit more of a precise entry here. Now, ideally, we would have got a fair value gap entry, but it is what it is. We'll just target this first sell side. That's it, that's all. Scale out a bit at this internal low. That's it, that's all. Sell right here. Stop below. Take profit right here. Like I said, 8 cons. We'll take out half at this low. Ride the rest if we get it. So first trade here, stopped out. Got another internal sweep here. See if we inverse this gap right here. And if we inverse that gap, I'll look to see a potential entry once more. All right. Like I said, so now we got that internal sweep again. So a second setup showed 2.72R. Now, like I said, it would be likely a 4 to 1R if we wait for the retest. We will just enter off the validation just for the purpose of this backtest session. But you get the point here. You get what I'm looking for. Just off the setup alone. So we'll go right here. Scale out half of that low if we get it. See if we do get it. So got half there. We'll go break even now. See if we get that low. And we get it. So that would be 2 wins, 2 losses on the week so far for this session. Just off of what I want to see in price. Like I said, the entries are going to be sloppy here, only because of what the market orders. That's just what it is. But you get the point here. So, like I said, so keep in mind that the R to Rs would be much, much better. Nothing here for me just yet. Why nothing here? I wanted these highs. It came here before we did get a sweep here, so it is what it is. So still from this point, nothing for me. Price is just expanding, disrespecting these gaps. Still nothing for me. Could likely be nothing for this session. Disrespected this gap, did we? Hold on. Nope, gap has been respected. Several buy side liquidity. Sorry. Several bullish imbalances there though, to be fair. I don't love it. Perhaps for this backtest session, if I get a scalp, I'll just take it for the purpose of this backtest session. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what I'm seeing here in price. Chopping around here. Here, if we're gonna take a scalp, this is what it is. It would likely be a 1. We'll go 1 to 1, even though this is still not ideal. It is what it is. Inverse gap, sorry, bearish gap formed right here. Bearish gap formed here. Inverse gap here. We'll take a shot at it. Again, C setup this is. Literally a definition of a C setup. We're sizing down 1 to 1. See what we get here. Literally C setup. Anyways, we'll see what we get. And we get it. I mean, that's just me scalping for fun there. In all honesty, we would have never taken a trade here in this session. You're seeing very wicky, very choppy price action. But that's just a scalp I would have never looked for. But it just did make sense if you're looking at price subjectively from that time frame. If you're looking at all the time frames, it does make sense that price would fill gaps. Like I said, it would never be a trade I'd take. Just one that I've seen, because I do analyze lower time frames as well. So it is what it is. So ideally, realistically, 4 trades, 2 wins, 2 losses there. Still a decent, very decent gain on the week. That's that. Just taking the setup, no higher time frame bias, no higher time frame direction, no higher time frame draw, nothing. Literally just looking for setups using the 15-minute and 1 minute. That's all I used if you really pay attention. 15-minute and 1 minute to analyze. And showing you guys that it's possible with just 2 time frames like that. Very simple. Now imagine you incorporate everything. How much more accurate you are. So that's the London session backtest done. I hope you all have a great day and take care, everybody.